What's up everybody, this is Darksinne here, back with some more StarCraft 2 Heart of the Swarm. Welcome back! Today's game is going to be played between, up at the top right hand side, CM Storm's Polt. CM Storm also sponsoring our very own South African Panda tank, so that's really great. And down to the bottom left hand side is going to be, whoa, a little bit of lag there, a little bit of Hyun as well down at the bottom left hand side, playing the Zerg for this match. Anyway guys, this game is coming to you directly from the 2013 MLG Spring Championship. This is going to be the very last game of the tournament. I believe it's a best of 5 going to be played between these two players, and so far each of them have taken 2 games. So quite an interesting match here, a lot on the line for both players. This is going to be desperation. Both players going to be playing at their absolute best to try and see if they can take a win from this tournament, be number 1 at MLG, at least at MLG. You know how it is. But they are going to be playing on a map that is, oh man, you can tell because it's the last map that they're playing that neither player really wanted to play this map to begin with, and that is going to be Korhal Sky Island, one of the most risky maps to play on, one of the newer maps. A lot of people say unbalanced, but I personally believe that it is balanced. It is unbalanced towards both players, so it's a very difficult map rather to play on. So both players going to be playing their absolute best to try and make the most out of this particular map. What I really like about the map though is that it looks really freaking cool, man. There's like so many like awesome little bits you can look at. This drone moving out and going to be scouting. So actually I want to test this out. Oh cool, that's awesome. Control Shift F is how you follow a character, or how you follow a unit, because I don't know if you guys noticed this, but the interface looks incredibly different to what we are used to seeing in StarCraft 2. That is because the latest patch of the game has allowed players such as myself to become a very effective observer. So what I have right now available to me is a lot of tools to customize my interface. I personally am not very good at customizing my interface, obviously, because I don't understand the code as well as someone else might. But there are plenty of very talented programmers who are very capable of doing all of these things. So what they've done is, this is actually a custom community developed interface that gives me a very large area to work with. So you can tell by this enormous space over here that I can see a lot more action than I usually will be able to see. And I have all of my information down at the bottom, and on the right hand side is a very small little window, so you can see all of the things, all of the abilities that each unit has. So if I click on that, if I click on the command center, you can see all of the abilities that it has as well. If we go over to a drone, you can see then that it can mutate into the different buildings. All of these things, excellent little features, and they just look brilliant. And it's not to say that the standard Blizzard interface isn't good, but it is definitely an improvement for observers. So for players it's excellent, for observers it's a little bit clunky and a little bit big. But Blizzard also has implemented their own, so you don't necessarily have to use the community developed ones. Personally, I do like them. I don't think that they're working yet. Every time that I've tested them, I get a bunch of errors and stuff while I'm playing, so that's not necessarily good. But one of the features that it does have, and this one doesn't, is by pressing Shift Z, you could zoom out a little bit further than I am now, so you can see a lot more action if there is a battle taking place. So for example, if this little Reaper over here was to go down into this base over here, and I wanted to see the Queen movement, here he comes. Is he? Let's do that little. There we go, Control F, that follow thing. If I wanted to watch the Queen movement from here while watching the action of the Reaper, I would definitely be able to do that. Right now there isn't a Queen on the map, so this is going to be a lot of damage for Polt actually, so this is going to be brilliant for him. Actually, there are a couple of Zerglings over here, so this might be a little bit of a problem for Polt. Being able to chase him away is excellent, but you could really kite Zerglings with a Reaper for days, especially with that incredible regen that it has. You can tell already regenning its health. Or no, actually not. There we go. Starting. It takes a couple of seconds. I'm not sure exactly how long that is. I'll have to check that out for you guys. But now that the Queen's out, he's definitely going to be chasing this Reaper away. I don't think the Reaper harass was really a game-changing operation for Polt, although he is building one, or he has built an additional Reaper, maybe just for the additional scouting opportunities, which is really good, especially on these new maps that don't have the Zelnaga towers. So you really have to keep an eye out on the map from your own perspective. I think that is pretty good for Zerg, because that means that that they have a lot of additional vision when they have their overlords out, but overlords do typically have to move away eventually. So Polt going to be moving up here just to check if that queen is still there. Queen is still there. Yes, I have to move away, Polt says, and that's exactly what he does. Doing a little bit of damage to this expansion over here, delaying that a little bit by killing. Is he going to be able to kill? Yes, he does take out that SCV. Brilliant work from Polt, but that doesn't matter too much because the command center does finish, so that didn't matter too much. The wall in still working perfectly fine for Polt. Hyun moving in with those Zerglings, realizing that they haven't done much and being forced to move out. These Reapers are able to chase them away, so this is going to be good for Polt. Able to set up his expansion, always difficult, especially on this map, against a Zerg opponent, to get your expansion up safely. So that's going to be perfect for him. I'm not sure if the speed... Man, that was taking so long. What was causing that? Why is it automatically set to this really ridiculously slow speed? I'm not sure. But it does look like everything's moving at the correct speed now. I actually have no idea. Let's actually get that menu up. Just turn that off quickly. And if I press O over here, you can also see that all of my information has come up again. You guys might have seen the time code for the map there. I'm sorry about that. I always hate when I see that time code. I never check. Even if it is available to me, I never check it, just because it's a little bit of a spoiler, and I don't really know when the map ends, or excuse me, when the match ends. So I'd rather have that be an exciting little excursion for myself. Anyway, what was I going to check? The speed. Yes, now it is on faster speed. So I'm sorry that I was casting that game at incredibly slow speed. It must have felt like we were watching it in slow motion, everything developing in really, really slow motion. But now both players are going to be playing at the correct speed, and that is brilliant. So let's keep an eye out for these queens over here, actually coming over here to chase them away. That hatchery almost going down from an incredible amount of damage from these Hellions. These Hellions just do ridiculous damage when they are left to their own devices, and they are definitely left to their own devices now. Will they be able to take out this hatchery? I don't think so, because the queens are just going to be moving in over here. Are they going to be dropping some transfuses on one another? Yes, they do, keeping them alive. 4 queens over here now that are going to be able to hold off any sort of movement here, but they are able to slip by. Are they going to be able to do any damage here? No, there's an excellent wall in here from Hyun. That is brilliant work from him. Polt trying to break through this wall in over here, doing quite a lot of damage, and he does have the damage to be able to break through. He is going to be able to break through. A couple of Zerglings holding him off, but Zerglings are no match for Hellions. Hellions do so much damage, and he's able to take out so many of these drones. This is excellent. Even if this entire attack fails, he's done so much damage already that it has just been completely worth it. Doing a lot more damage to the drones again. Man, Polt is really pulling through, doing so much damage. Killing drones, these queens trying desperately to catch up, and they're just not going to be able to do it. Moving into this mineral line over here, killing a lot more drones as well, doing some damage to them, if not just killing them. Hyun doing some excellent work of splitting up his drones as much as he can, but these queens are just not quick enough to take out this incredible force. At the same time, up at the top right hand side, we do have a Viking trying to take out some of the what are these things? Overlords. There we go. Getting the word mixed up a little bit, but there we go. Finally, almost clearing up. There we go. Eventually clearing up everything that Polt had thrown at him. Hyun had taken so much damage over there. Let's actually have a look at the units lost. So much lost for Hyun, man. That is just so much damage taken. I don't know if he will be able to recover from that, especially with his Doom Drop coming in over here onto the the second expansion. It is going to be spotted, but that doesn't mean very much at all, really, because Hyun does not have the forces required to be able to do any sort of damage. He is going for the upgrades at the moment, Polt that is. Hyun getting a ground melee attack upgrade, but I don't know if that's going to be enough. Oh man, and these brilliant freaking Widow Mines coming in right over here, able to prevent any sort of additional movement, securing that position, meaning that he can pull back to there any time, and these rotors are just going to be completely destroyed by those Widow Mines if they do take off. So I don't think there's too much damage for taken by Polt there actually, and again, just such a brilliant attack, able to take out this expansion, forcing Hyun to take this expansion over here. So we'll have to see exactly if Polt is able to take that one out as well. But this is a very, very dangerous situation for Hyun at the moment. He's so desperately clinging rather to this position. Will he be able to hold on while Polt is throwing everything he has at him? That is a Baneling in a stasis tube of some sort. That's awesome. That is just brilliant. Brilliant things to look at. At the same time, we have an expansion from Polt that is finally getting settled in. All the SCVs being transferred into that position over there. But how is the production looking for Polt at the moment? He has so many buildings up actually. At the same time, right now he's building 3 additional barracks, and he has a command center finishing up. I'm guessing that is this one, or is it an extra one? Where is that? Oh, that's over here as well. So he's got an extra expansion coming up as soon as he has the time to set that up. And right now he is looking for that timing because he's trying to perform an attack over here. Maybe going to be able to move his expansion in from that. But Hyun moving in with his forces over here, able to chase that away, able to save this hatchery. He is in such trouble trying to save that hatchery. He needs to get this up. He needs to get ahead economically before there's too many problems for him. Because right now he is in a very dangerous situation. So we'll have to see what he does. He does have a sensor tower up, and sensor tower is really brilliant for him right now, especially on such a small map. He is able to see almost all of the movement, all of the attacking movements rather, that will be doing any sort of damage to him. So he'll be able to early detect any sort of movement. He does now know that the troops are here. Going to be in a little bit of trouble over here with those marauders moving in with the stim, forcing this creep back. Also a very brilliant move from Polt. But so few units over here actually will... I think that Hyun is going to be able to chase this away. He does not have any anti-air yet, so he will not be able to take out those medevacs. Those medevacs are really close to dying, but there's a lot of units moving into the south over here. Polt forcing Hyun's drones into the back corner there, and he is going to be able to take out this hatchery, completely disposing of this expansion over here. Excuse me. Completely disposing of that expansion and moving up over here. He is not going to be letting off. He's going to be forcing some pressure onto the Zerg with a couple of water mines up there as well. He's going to be sandwiching in Hyun at this point, and it looks like Hyun he's in so much trouble. He doesn't know where to go. Does he need to go to the south? Does he need to go to the north? Where is he going to be defending? Moving his units in over here. Unfortunately, those baning connections weren't all that good, so this means that Polt is going to be able to move in with his marines into that position. Polt still has his marauders up at the top here doing a lot of damage with those medevacs, and he's going to be holding off this position, doing a lot of damage. It does look like Hyun able to save that again, holding on so closely, but he's going to lose this expansion unless he does something really insane, and no, he's unable to. Polt able to save, excuse me, Polt able to save that those marauders again after doing the damage. This economical damage is so good for him. He's managing to hold the Zerg off, and at the same time he's managing to expand and increase his bases. His income is just so ridiculous at the moment. If you look at the amount of money that he's sitting on, it's not that much because he's actually spending all of that money, and that's really good for him because he's now sitting at 200 supply, while Hyun is still struggling to get past that 100. Well, he's now at 120, less than 120, so getting up to that 120 mark is just not good for him. A lot of units moving in over here, might be able to go for the kill. Some very good splitting over here from Polt, able to split so that he can get past those banelings, but the banelings prove to be just too much. There are so many banelings, and if you have enough banelings, man, you can destroy any sort of biological army. So this is really good for Hyun, able to hold that off again. These marauders over here having so many kills, 3 kills, 4 kills, 2 kills and 4 kills. That's too many kills on marauders, guys. It's just too many. This hatchery is still able to go up. This hatchery over here was not able to go down all the way. But Polt moving in again with an enormous army. It looks like Hyun is moving in with his Zergling forces as well, but he does not have any banelings left to be able to hold this off. Let's actually look at the units tab so that we can see exactly what both of these players have, and you can just see that the army difference is enormous at this point. There is really nothing for Hyun on the field. This expansion being forced to lift off over there by a little bit of a Zergling harassment, but there's really nothing to hold off this force. This force is going to be marching all the way into the natural A lot of units actually standing around. That's quite a shame, but I guess they're just in position, ready to hold off. Trying to get some splits, I think, is exactly what Polt is trying to do against any sort of banelings. We haven't seen any banelings on the field, but that's not necessarily a bad thing for Polt. Just preparing for that just shows that he's such an incredible player. And there we go. We do have an excellent win by Polt. That was just a complete steamroll. You'd think that after 2 matches one way or the other, 4 matches one way or the other, that we'd be seeing a much more fair match, but we definitely have a complete steamroll by Polt. I think Hyun did really good to hold off as well as he did, but I don't think that it was nearly enough to hold off Polt's amazing skills. So there you go, guys. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Bye.